Standard Time here in Los Angeles, trying to connect to the YouTube. Did I set it correctly? Hopefully I did. Hopefully. Just making sure that the video feed goes live on YouTube. Indeed, I do believe it is going live. I think. It's Tuesday, April 11th, 2023 AD. Pardon the delay. Let's get to some entertainment, shall we? The blacks. The worst of the blacks. Very entertaining. Here's some preacherness. And I didn't know did he pray to Mother God? What? Oh, don't reinstate him, Republicans in Tennessee. Do not do it. Here's Afro goofy guy.
Well, y'all, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I'm so glad to be in the house of the Lord with you this morning. Would you mind going ahead and praying with me now? Mother God, Creator God, loving God, holy God, take this your servant made from dust and connect it with the raw materials of stardust to speak in this moment, to say something that brings forward the word you placed into my heart. I accept my unworthiness for such a task as bold as this, and I seek your guidance as you use me and speak through me. To the ancestor preachers who made sermons from hymns, moans, and groans, and spirituals from the bondage of slavery, speak now through this your descendant. To the black women locked out, being abused, tormented, raped, eradicated, and yet born a new and distant future in this country, and to a young colored boy named me, I name you now, my great-grandmother Anna Ruth, my great-grandmother Flossie, my great-grandmother Eveline, my great-grandmother Lavinia, my grandmother Pearson, my grandmother Gwen, my own mother Kimberly, to the preachers who preached before me, and will now to my own daddy Jason, my Paul, my granddaddy, my uncle, and my auntie before me, to you, loving God. Father, mother, sister, brother, sibling, and friend, preach. If it is my voice, I promise I'll lose it for you. If it's my hands, I'll clap them for you. If it's my feet, let them jump praising you. Whatever it is, God, you use it so a word of justice and love might come forward in these moments. This we ask in Jesus' name. Together we say amen.
I don't know if I should say that. I disavow. That was something else. He's been listening to Blackalicious. You ever heard of Blackalicious? He's like flowing. Oh my goodness. That was more black preacher crap. Don't say that, kids. From Justin Pearson, the silly, goofy Afro guy who did not used to be this entertaining, but he was chemical calisthenics, says Nick. Blackalicious, he died. He was fat. I don't know why he died, but he was fat. He was a talented rapper guy, though. I almost said the Cold Vein, but I'm confusing that with Cannibal Ox. It's a totally different group. Not even similar, except it is black and rap. But that was expelled Tennessee lawmaker Justin Pearson's sermon at a Memphis Unitarian Universalist church. Began with a prayer to Mother God and an invitation for dead ancestors, to speak through him, including the mamas. Didn't he call himself a maid? But at least he said Jesus's. I like when people say Jesus's or James's. Not James, not Jesus' name. Not James's silly music. I mean, not James' silly music, it's James's. I like apostrophe S, even if the name ends with an S. So, right on to you, sir. But the whole rest of that, what a weirdo. I have more about him. He did not used to be so entertaining, but he was equally phony, even in the past. What a shame. I have more stuff, guys, to get to. There's this lame retired guy who was also booted that they restored, that Justin Jones guy. The Hispanic one who looks like Apocalypto. Shout out to Apocalypto. He looks Aztec and black. He does definitely look black, too. And there was a whole town of police that resigned after the bad mayor was elected who trashed the cops. And I have an old clip, an old report from less than a year ago, that murder clearance rates are down way low. It's ridiculous. And it was a report out of KPIX is local CBS News out of the Bay Area, up in NorCal, Oakland, San Fran. Amazing article. If I can steal a word from JLP, I steal lots of stuff. I'm on his network. In the mid-1960s, more than 90% of murders were solved. In the 90s, it was 60%, or upward of 60% of murders were solved, resulting mostly in an arrest. Now it's 50%, roughly. Wow. It's terrible. Nationwide. And are the right-wingers too hard on Tucker? I have an old clip as in like a week ago. Tucker appeared on some show on which JLP has appeared. And he's interviewed the guy who interviewed him, I think. Adam Carolla. Is he Italian? But, and Tucker said, no white speaks for me unless I agree with that particular white. If you think that you're a leader for the whites, you don't speak for me. Forget off. Or he said, boop, off. Don't say that, kids. And community colleges are going down. Based. Alex Jones, my competitor. I have a clip that I mentioned which I did retweet, part of which I may play for you guys, because you can't deny it. You can't deny it. Just nice, plain truth, kind of inspiring, maybe. I feel like I heard about inspiration on Nick's stream last week, too. Anyway, all that and your calls, and I may touch again on that black dude who is bothered that the Asians are scared of blacks, including him, up in Oakland. Speaking of Oakland, but he's bothered. The solution, don't be bothered, man. That's the solution. He said, what's the solution? Maybe I'll invite him on the Hake Report. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I am wearing my disgusting t-shirt. And it's like this bright blue shirt. It looks even brighter on this screen that I'm looking at. Disgusting. I made it when I had a slightly fatter face, but my face is still kind of, I don't know. But it was a design idea from Mark from San Diego. And he told me later, oh, you should have more of a straight, normal face. And on the back it says, shameful. See? Shameful. And it's sort of a straighter face. Nice. So, shout out to Mark. You can find yours, and it doesn't have to come in this color. I got this color. I don't know what got into me. I thought, oh, I'll do something different. Am I less pale than I used to be? Do I have a little bit better of a tan? A little bit more sunshine on my face? Maybe it looks a little bit better with me being a little less white, maybe. I'm not sure. This color would probably look good on a black or a person who has darker skin. What's with the gay color? It's not gay. That's in your mind. Flea market, floppy disk. You're throwing around that word a lot, I see. What's on your mind? But no, it doesn't have to be this color. It could be, I disavow that color. This is the real Mr. Mad. Yes. You can find yours. Go to thehakereport.com. It's various colors. Cool shirt, bro. Thank you, man. Shout out to Max Rex. Let's jump right into this mess. So thehakereport.com, and you can go to teespring.com/stories/thehakereport, which will redirect to your thing. Your shirt matches my coffee cup today. Hack promo, says DJ Jean Paul, with the diamond over on D Live. Nice. Sweet. So I showed you that clip of the goofy phony preacher with that silly afro. What a weirdo, huh? Phony preacher, phony politician, student guy with a phony smile, with braces on. To phony preacher. Peachy Keenan tweeted. Amazing how Justin Pearson, this is one of the Tennessee Three, this full-blown black Southern guy, Justin Pearson. I guess he's Southern. I don't even know if he's Southern. Learned that crazy fake Southern preacher accent just a few years after his Brooks Brothers prep school days at Bowdoin, wherever that is. He's like a Hilaria Baldwin of Al Sharpton clones, which I'm not sure I get the reference. And she shares a Facebook, I presume it's a she, link from Pearson for BSG president. Pearson for BSG president. And I don't know what BSG is. Maybe it's some school. BSG, no, I don't know. I don't even know. But charting our way forward together. His video production by Bo Bleckel. Thank you to People's Pearson volunteers. And I believe it's a 2016 video. Look at him. He has glasses on, short cropped hair, looking like he has some sense. At least he wears, well, he's not wearing a dashiki under his blazer. He's wearing a dashiki. A dashiki, for those who don't know, I learned while working on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, is one of those phony, or maybe it's not phony, but phony African shirt things. He was wearing it under his blazer. Justin Pearson for BSG president. And he has, what are those things? I just said it. Braces on his teeth. I never had braces, so I can make fun of them. I knew people with braces. This is from Amy Therese. Justin Pearson was a middle class, clean-cut, black college student in 2016 when he ran for whatever this BSG thing is, president. Maybe it's a student body president at a university or some dumb thing. He spoke about bringing together liberals and conservatives to meet in the radical middle and waxed lyrical. Come on. He was more lyrical on that phony preacher thing about Mother God and ancestors. And waxed lyrical about the importance of hearing every voice. And here's an edit because it's so long and boring. Oh, but you get to hear how he is and you get to see his phony smile. And I don't see braces on him in this commercial that they put together. But this is what he shared on his Facebook, minute 19 seconds from 2016. What is that, 7 years ago, roughly, give or take. Clip 14, here it is. 14, I think. I think it's, wait. Okay, yeah, 15.
Hey everybody, I'm Justin J. Pearson, and
Hi.
I'm running for president of BSG. There are a few reasons that we're running this campaign this year. One has to do with representation. How can we represent all voices in a conversation?
Talking with his hands.
I want to bring together different voices, dissenting voices, voices that may be more liberal or more conservative, in order that we can reach a point of sort of the radical middle, where conversation and dialogue happens and growth happens.
Fake.
Right now, we have tensions on our campus that can only be resolved by understanding one another. So we really want to work on safety and security. This year has shown us the challenges we have on our campus and in the Brunswick community. So I want to make sure that we're working with BPD to build in security to make our campus a safer place for all students. And that includes working with people like Benji Douglas to make sure that we're working on sexual assault prevention here on our campus. There are many issues that we can work together to solve. And that includes working on institutionally environmental issues. That includes building better connections with residential life, of which I'm a part. But I can't do this alone. And we can't win this election without you going out and voting. So join the People's Pearson campaign, and let's chart ourselves to a better future.
Look at this
Thank
smile.
you.
Look at that smile. It needed music in the background to anyway. Somebody said he got the full Colin. Oh, Amy, Aimee, Therese, no H in Therese. Got the full Colin Kaepernick BLM glow up. Yeah, he went to be the goofy afro thing. At least his afro doesn't look all fluffy and thin like Colin Kaepernick's. It's like overboard. But his is ridiculous too. Silly. Ridiculous. Trying so hard to be white, says Awatar, or white friendly. Hi! There was a comedian, a black comedian. I forget who it was. Maybe it had been like Chappelle or something. But I heard him talking about being unassuming and harmless appearing, walking up to somebody in the middle of the street or at night. Hi! Kind of like Mickey Mouse. Hi! You know how blacks do it, and they just kind of go overboard. Jesse does that too. So that's him being phony. And he was phony there, but less entertaining. So I did find it very lame that they reinstated this lame Justin Jones guy. He's the one with the long hair. I think he has long hair, ponytail type of thing. I saw a couple of push notifications on my thing. Yeah, he has like this tied back hair. It looks like a part Indian, like Mexican Indian. Bautista-Jones. Nashville officials vote to send Justin Jones back to the Tennessee House. Former Democrat state lawmaker was expelled by Republicans last week. That's according to Wall Street Journal. Breaking news! Nashville City Council votes unanimously to return Representative Justin Jones. Oh, so it was the Nashville City Council. They had to return to him to the Tennessee House days after his expulsion over the gun protests. Oh, so it wasn't the Republicans who relented. It was the Nashville City Council, intent on pushing evil. So, see, the local government has sway, pushing evil. Don Cheadle, apocalypto-looking, says John Frederick. Yeah. That's lame. That's weak. That's why I call them Republicans. But anyway, rhinos. I was blaming the rhinos, but I think it's the Nashville and Gomorrah. Don't they have evil stuff over in Nashville? It's terrible. Justin Pearson, not to be confused with Peterson. It's Pearson, Pearson. So, it's ridiculous. Briefly, let me mention this. Goodman, I got this from this was a tip from Pork Chop Express, reported 6 days ago. News Talk KZRG.com reported the entire police force in Goodman, Missouri says that they have resigned. In a Facebook post, Police Chief Adam Miller says every officer, full-time and reserve, submitted those resignations Wednesday, would have been last week or 2 weeks ago maybe, one day after a new mayor was elected. This Adam Miller, police chief guy, says the previous mayor, J.R. Fisher, was a huge asset for the PD, police department, and the city as a whole. But Miller, this Adam Miller guy, claims that the newly elected mayor, John Bunch, and his followers, quote unquote, campaigned that they were going to dismantle the department. Bunch received 86 votes. Fisher got 70 votes. What type of small town is this that they only got less than 100 votes each? We at Goodman Police Department refuse to work for someone who doesn't appreciate or support law enforcement and threatens our jobs, says Adam Miller, police chief. These officers start out at $15 an hour with no room in the budget to pay raises and no retirement, just a low, all caps, hourly rate. We did it for the citizens. Miller says officers deserve so much more. We as a whole of the police department feel as if we made a positive impact within the community and appreciate the support we did receive from the bottom of our hearts. Our officers were stalked, tormented, slandered, and harassed while making a whopping $15 to $16 an hour. I wonder what the, and it is in a Facebook group that I can't access. Maybe it was deleted or privated or something. But I wonder what their, because $15 an hour didn't used to be so bad. That used to be pretty nice. I remember when it was $5 an hour. I think the national average used to be like they started it out at $2 an hour. But inflation through the roof, overly inflated, phony, false value of money. Wonder what the cost of living is over in Goodman, Missouri. Terrible. So, stay out of Goodman. McDonald County, Missouri, in the United States. Population 1,248. That's tiny. So, terrible. Evil stuff going on even in the small towns. Evil everywhere. Even in you. What a mess. I'm going to get to how bad the crime is around the country. It's worse than what they're reporting, and they're getting away with it. They talk about phony Colin Kaepernick talking about cops getting away with murder. Murder clearance rates, have you ever heard of that? Well, I learned about that several years ago when I learned that, I think I learned about it before JLP talked to Sheriff David Clark, formerly of Milwaukee. He had the murder clearance rates where they would basically means solve the case, right? Police would satisfactorily solve the case. It was cleared. It would result usually in an arrest, or else the suspect was dead, or something like that. He had it at 80%. 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 murders solved. 1 out of 5, they get away with it. Crazy. That's a high percentage. But that was much better than the national average at the time, which was 60%. Well, now the national average is at 50%. I'm going to get to that. But let me get to a call or two, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. William is in California on the line. How you doing, William? Thanks for calling.
Hey, good morning, James. How you doing?
Doing well.
And you. Coffee and you.
Nice.
Man, I wanted to say to you about this yesterday, this young man that you showed, Pearson, what's his name?
Justin Pearson, the Afro goofy guy? Afro guy?
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. First of all, that's not an Afro.
Yeah.
We call them naturals. Okay.
Naturals?
They were called naturals.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if you've ever heard a song or a songwriter named Teddy Riley. He did Michael Jackson's album. He's a very famous producer.
Yeah.
He had a song called Groove Me, and it went, groove me, baby, tonight, and it had a sample in the background that said, yeah. It was a bunch of girls. Yeah. Every verse. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You listen to this kid and listen to the people in the audience. Every verse he said, there was somebody in the background, some guy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow. It takes me back to when I was in high school. I had a friend of mine. He says, I got a new album for you. It's called Back in Black. It's AC/DC.
Nice.
I fell in love with him.
Uh-huh.
And then I got to teasing my friend. He was one of them surfer boys. I said, man, why do you guys sing? He said, you guys? You mean us white people? And he said, yeah, why do you guys sing and scream and say, ow, back in black? He says, well, he got me back really good. He told me, he said, well, let me ask you something about black singers. I said, what about them? They're just good. He said, well, yeah, they're good, but what does this mean? And he got me good, James. He said, wow, wow, wow. I said, what? He said, what is wow, wow, wow? I said, I couldn't even say nothing, James. I said, you know what? He's actually kind of right. All of the songs in the 70s had black singers that went, wow. He said, that ain't even in the dictionary, William.
Nice. It's just a nice song. It's just a nice sound.
It's a nice sound, yeah. They get the wow, yeah, wow, wow, wow. And he got me good on that one. But there was a line cross last week. My lady came over for the weekend for Easter, and I'm in the garage playing around with the drums, and she goes, I walked past your TV, and YouTube was on, and there was somebody that mentioned me, not by name, but I've heard you on this show, and you never reference towards people's wife.
Right.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, when me and the fellas are in the garage, we don't have our women come in and get involved with that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't engage your female caller, because I have told women this before. You need a husband to deal with me. So I ignore him and walk away. But my old lady was mentioned that it was a reference that my old lady was white.
Uh-huh. Yeah, somebody speculated about that.
See, yeah, you see, that's what you think.
Yep.
She's blacker than you could ever be.
Satan talking to that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's blacker than you could ever be. And she's a non-commissioned officer that just got out of the Navy.
Right on.
Okay? And she doesn't try to be, even though she has all those credentials, guess what? James, she does not try to blackball or overrun me.
Nice.
Because I don't play that.
Yeah.
That might be the reason why she is my woman. But she said, there was a line crossed. How does he know what nationality I am?
Right.
She said, it sounds like a bunch of people call in that show. The reasonable people call, but she said, I don't get involved with that because that's mostly a men's forum.
Yeah.
I said, yes, it is.
True.
She says, well, then for somebody to sit up there and assume.
Yep. And I believe I pointed it out at that time that guy's making a big assumption.
You did, because I was walking around the house and I didn't pay attention. She brought it to my attention. She said, that's a line that's crossed.
Yeah.
You don't have to give up your privacy.
Right.
And see, just because you hear something in this man's voice that you don't like that might be also from the white man doesn't make you a victim.
Yeah.
Doesn't make him an Uncle Tom. Maybe William got some common sense.
Yep.
Okay, I don't hear any common sense coming from that group because here's the deal. I'm willing to put $20,000 on the table right now. You're not getting reparations.
Interesting,
You
man.
got 20.
We'll
I got
see.
20. I bet you. And it's another thing.
And you're black, right? Right?
As black as you can get.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Uh-huh.
The San Francisco reparations thing, there's not even 40,000 blacks in San Francisco. Now, the blacks in the lower Fillmore, it was redeveloped in the 1960s. They moved those houses and tore them down and put up some public housing. Those people did not own their buildings. The people in the western part of the Fillmore own their buildings. Nobody that owns property that's black in San Francisco actually lives in San Francisco anymore. So the blacks that you see that are left behind are actually in public housing.
Oh, man.
So where are they going to get where are they getting reparations from?
Yep. Terrible.
And they say they're going to give them a house for $1. You don't have a house in San Francisco you don't even have a dirt lot for $1 in San Francisco.
Man.
But I know what happened back then is a direct impact on what we have right now. Because, like I said, those people that are left, the blacks that are left in San Francisco are not homeowners. The homeowners all left. We have all left.
Man, that's
you
a
get
shame.
older, and you know how you get older.
It's just a renting culture now, huh?
Well, it's a renting culture, and the thing is when you're a homeowner in a city, you usually do get older and move out of the city and rent your property.
Yeah, true.
But it's bad that this kid, I had a 90-year-old uncle that called me, and he's seen that on the news. He said, I want to ask you something. I'm 92 years old. Who in the hell is this young man with this natural and these Malcolm X glasses
Yeah.
putting on a show?
That Justin Pearson
Because
guy.
he was taking everything out of Martin Luther King page. Everything.
And it's phony.
It was disgusting.
Yep.
What's your T-shirt say? Disgusting?
Disgusting.
That was disgusting.
And shameful on the back.
Very shameful. And here's the deal, John. I love black people because I'm black. If you didn't love them, you would ignore everything that they're doing right now.
Yeah. I
There's
love
crime
black
after
people
crime
too.
after
if I love
crime, and the
anybody.
criminals are getting younger, James.
I know. Yeah. The young people are committing homicides at a crazy rate now, I hear.
That's correct.
Yeah.
See, I don't tell a lie.
Yep.
Because I've seen this before. I told you that the militant black in the 60s ran around in the 70s with army jacket, bald head, and dark sunglasses. He was lost for 10 years. By the time the 80s got here, nobody was listening to that crap anymore. Black Lives Matter, this has happened before.
Yeah.
This has happened before. That militant black thing has came and went. And the browning of America is not going to happen if you do the research right now and pull it up. We are on a pace to being 6% of the population. Look that up.
6?
6.
Whoa.
Lower than the gays. We're getting ready to be lower number than the gay people.
Supposedly, right. Yeah, man, that's
6%
wild.
by 2055. 2055. That's not my number. I'm too old to even worry about that. But 6% is where we're on the way to.
Is this the black Americans as opposed to the black, including the black
Americans.
Immigrants? Because there's
Black
a lot
Americans.
of immigrants who are maybe an increasing population, but the black Americans
Probably.
are a decreasing population.
Mhm.
Sort of like the white Americans are a decreasing population.
They come here, they work hard, they do the best they can. They come from a place that doesn't have the freedoms that we have.
Yeah.
And that's why they're here.
Well,
Okay,
man.
you don't see anybody sneaking. There's one black country, James, the Bahamas. The Bohemians do not sneak over here. Bahamas people do not sneak over. You can throw a rock from the Bahamas to Florida. They don't sneak over here. They come over here and go shopping. They get back on that boat. They go back home. You know why? The Bahamas they have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world.
Wow. So that's a well-run country, huh?
Well, it's not ran
Good
as well
culture?
as the United States, but it's not big. They don't have many resources, but they're if you live in the Bahamas, you are either raised to work in the bank, you're either working in finances, or you're working in tourism.
Right. That's what I would have thought. Tourism.
They have like one of the lowest unemployment numbers I've seen in years, and it stays that way even after the hurricane.
Wow.
They're recovered and they're back. But they don't sneak over here. That's the one black country they do not come over here illegally. Jamaica does, but the Bohemians don't do that.
Are they called Bohemians or are they Bahamians or
Bahamians, Bohemian, whatever it is, how you pronounce it, yeah.
Okay, but they're the ones from Bahama.
Yeah, good
Okay.
people. Good people.
Nice.
You know, you rarely hear about them having immigration problems because they don't want to leave that place.
Okay.
It's a paradise.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
Yeah, it's a paradise. I mean, you got almost zero unemployment, and it's not zero unemployment, but it's like pretty low.
Yeah. Nice, man.
You know? Yeah.
Appreciate the call, William.
That thing about browning the country is not happening because you're on your way to being 6%. I don't know how many black people you were telling me was in the United States the other day?
It was 45
something million?
No, 45 million only, I think.
Okay. I don't know how that many people are going to overrun 360 million.
Yeah, no, it's not going to serve blacks. And we will get to your calls, guys. Hang tight. It doesn't serve blacks that the country is turning less white and more Hispanic, Asian, Muslim, all that other stuff. It's terrible.
We're actually being phased out because we have a lot of same-sex marriage that don't reproduce.
Abortion, murder.
Abortion and murder, correct.
And people are not getting along. We have a lot of things
that are...
And then
we have a lot of things, if you really look at it from a perspective of just honesty, we're on a way to just actually not being here because there's just so much going on right now in our communities. And black people that actually stand up and admit what's happening in their communities. Because even just because I don't live in my community anymore does not mean I'm not concerned about my blacks. Here's the deal. You hate them if you sit there and call and lie and say that they're only 2% crime rate with black people in this country. You hate black people more than anybody. The people that actually cared about the black community when I was growing up were actually the men who sat in the donut shop.
I know. and spoke the truth about what was going on.
They spoke the truth about everything. My dad was one of them. They would go to Saturday morning and would have breakfast at this certain place, and you could look through the window and all of the fathers and grandfathers are right there discussing everything that's happening in the neighborhood, watching us walk by that window. Oh, that's such and such's boy. That's such and such's son.
Huh.
You see, those are the people who love their communities, the ones that don't sit there and ignore bad behavior. When I grew up, men did not excuse bad behavior. So that about rounds it out, John. What kind of men were you raised around?
Thank you, William. I appreciate it, man. I got to keep moving.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Before I get back to calls, let me cover this story. This is a report from actually William's area. Oakland and San Francisco see disheartening difference in homicide clearance rates is the headline from CBS, Far Left Enemies of America, CBS News. Local reporting from their local station KPIX, KPIX, CBS News from the Bay Area. And it's an amazing article because I looked it up when I was listening to the Justin Pearson show because they were talking about murder clearance rates and murders in the first hour there of JLP today. Check it out. You can go to jlptalk.com and find it on, it will be up on Rumble. It will be up on probably Odyssey, Odyssee, and BitChute probably, and audio podcast. So jlptalk.com, which is jesseLeePeterson.com/show. But it's from June of 2022, okay? So it's old news from Hake. You're going to get a lot of old news. It's very typical. I'm behind the times. But here's a 4.5-minute, roughly, news report with these black ladies talking about their brother and uncle, respectively, who was murdered. 61-year-old man murdered, and it went unsolved for months, probably forever. Black lady in a Popeye t-shirt. I don't know what to say, mildly attractive. But anyway, listen to this. It's the news report from local news, KPIX, CBS Bay Area, San Francisco, California, and Oakland. Here it is. Oh, clip 11. Finally, clip 11, guys. Check it out.
Barely half of murder cases in the United States get solved. The national homicide clearance rate is at an all-time low, according to FBI data.
Crazy.
In the mid-1960s, more than 90% of murders were solved, generally resulting in an arrest. But by 1990, the percentage fell into the 60s. Then, by 2020, as the number of homicides surged, the national clearance rate dropped to about 50% for the first time ever.
Our analysis with CBS News also discovered a difference by race. The national homicide clearance rate for whites victims keeps improving. That's the blue line at the top. While the rate of solving murders for black and Hispanic victims is much lower, those are the two lines at the bottom.
So what's happening locally? As KPIX5's Wilson Walker reports, our investigation discovered two different stories on opposite ends of the Bay Bridge.
It's devastating. It's devastating to see how my brother went out, you know.
Killed, murdered.
And there's no answers to it. There's no answers. No answers.
Elaine Marks Bell lost her brother on Christmas Day 2019. 61-year-old Jimmy Marks was shot and killed on a sidewalk along East 16th Street. Initially, police told the family they had leads, but no one came forward as a witness. 2.5 years later, the family is still waiting.
You're just kind of out here wondering, where's the killer? What happened? You know, this is going to be unsolved is it forever? Or, you know, you just don't know anything. And that is the part of the grief that it just stays there.
The Marks family is hardly alone as homicides have risen again in Oakland in recent years. The clearance rate has fallen. In 2020, it dropped to about 47% and below the national average of 51.6%. The numbers across the Bay, however, very different.
The police department just announced the arrest of 4 suspects in homicide cases.
With roughly twice the population of Oakland, San Francisco sees about half as many homicides, and the clearance rate has risen to 75%, well above the national average. And for that, San Francisco police credit two things.
We have to have the staffing to do that. We also have to have community support.
And what I'm acknowledging is that it won't be solved just by law enforcement, that this solution will have to be a collaborative approach.
Back in Oakland, police have long said they need more community help to both prevent and solve homicides.
People don't talk. They're afraid to talk.
It's hurtful, but it's not shocking that that's the way it happened, considering the relationship between the police and the community over there.
We're talking about using technology like surveillance cameras and deploying those. We're talking about addressing the witnesses, bringing more resources to witness protection, to support folks, incentives to come forward.
Oakland Councilmember Lauren Taylor says reducing violence will take long-term investments in communities, but short-term, he says solving murders can be its own form of violence prevention.
Studies also show that when we have a higher solve rate of these crimes, we have less retaliatory gunfire, and it limits the increase in actual homicides and gun violence cases. So it all ties together.
We are left with this gaping wound, this emptiness of what happened to our relative. Are we ever going to get justice?
The Marks say the passage of time has been discouraging, but they're trying to stay hopeful that police or someone in the community will eventually move their case forward.
It was just today it's just hard to even talk about because it's just no justice for people that's trying to do the right thing out here.
Both the Oakland and San Francisco police departments declined to speak on camera with us for this story. Now, we've placed more information on clearance rates here in the Bay Area and around the country on our website, KPIX.com. In Oakland, Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.
What a shame, huh? That was the sister of the man who was murdered. 61-year-old man. Murdered, was it a stray bullet? Or was it on purpose? So evil. And they're talking about security cameras. Not defund single mothers, stop kissing up to the fake idea of racism. Oakland, isn't that where Occupy started? Well, they had an Occupy in Oakland anyway. Occupy Wall Street, right? I guess that's Wall Street. But Antifa and Black Lives Matter, trash, evil, scum of the earth. I can say that. All that phony social justice mess. And San Francisco is no beautiful place either, because as you heard, or if you listened to the J.S. Lee Peterson show about that Bob Lee guy, I guess his name is Bob Lee, is it? The Cash App founder, which I heard that Cash App, I think I heard it from Nick, donated to Black Lives Matter. He gets what he deserves. No, kind of in a sense he does, but I don't know if he supported them. But this Bob Lee guy, 43-year-old family man, moves out of San Francisco to Florida somewhere, goes back to visit San Francisco. For some reason, he's out walking the streets at 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, which some people do that. Some people walk their dogs, according to that guy, Jake Shields, who's like this liberal guy, but independent thinking type of guy. I'm assuming he's a liberal. He seems sort of liberal, a little bit. Jake Shields, he's a talented fighter, legendary, kind of. He was friends with this Bob Lee guy. He said he would walk his dog at 2:30 in the morning. Stabbed to death. Unsolved murder. And those ladies, they should let it go. Not expect justice. It's just us. There's no justice. It's just us. I laugh, but it's true. It's a real Mr. Mad reminded me of that line. So good. Is that Gang Star with 2 R's? I think it is. Betrayal. There's no justice. It's just us. Man. Stop kissing up to the fake idea of racism. Defund single mothers. It's not love for the single mothers. As William from California said, it's not love to downplay how bad the crime is in the black community. Oh, just a tiny percentage, less than 2%. Even if that's true, you're just cherry-picking facts, not giving the whole truth. Those are the facts, James. No, it's not the truth, though. The truth is it's out of control. And also there's a whole lot of blaming of the people pointing out the problem, such as JLP, and also bringing the solution, such as JLP, and many others, or a few others anyway. Maybe just JLP. Forgive. Those ladies should forgive rather than being hurt 2.5 years later, breaking down and nearly crying in front of the TV camera. Those black ladies, the sister and niece, I think, of that 61-year-old man who was murdered. This fake idea of racism and the funding, subsidizing of the single mothers, you subsidize what you want to encourage, said one of my interns, I believe. You subsidize what you want to encourage. So you're encouraging single mothers to be single mothers. And angry and pushing the mess on their children. And I don't want to say screwing over, but doing that to screwing over the fathers in many cases, right? And they don't get along. And they're encouraged and enabled to be evil. And the fake idea of racism, too. No other race has quite the pull with that fake idea of racism, mass brainwashing from birth, generations. And nobody ever tells them the truth except for the racist white people who are telling them the plain truth, and then some of the blacks. And some of them are angry about it, so it doesn't come off well, so they reject it, the truth, because it's not spoken in love. But even though truth spoken in love is rejected by most of the people, too. But that encourages the poor raising, the bitterness, spoiling, victim mindset to violence pipeline. Because if you feel like a victim, you're going to be a perpetrator. It's a fact. Look it up or think about it. Check yourself. Anger, mess. And they're looking at facial recognition cameras, gun control, blame the guns. Just go to the surface level of the symptoms rather than dealing with the root. So fake. Drones, facial recognition software. Yeah, they're using the blacks to justify this surveillance state that they wield against the whites, who and some of the best whites. Terrible. Big brother. The more out of control and immoral the society is, the more you give them the excuse to take away your rights, your freedoms, your liberties. Can't have liberty without morality and God. I used to be JLP's bodyguard, and he would say frequently, you can't control a moral people. You have to demoralize them. Meaning, yes, make them forlorn and demoralize. Like, demoralize means, like, no joy, no peace. But also, demoralize means take away their morals. No morals. So, everybody on pot and pornography and beer. Beer? I like beer. Bud Light. Or worse, if there is anything worse. Guinness, which takes part in gay pride parades. Shameful. Terrible. Anyway, that's the story on Oakland. And it's probably still 2023, even worse. I would venture to guesstimate. It's the real Mr. Mad. LOL, Hake is a bodyguard. Speaking of that, let me read some super chats here, guys, before I get to calls and more stories and stuff. Over on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report, Sleepless on Subscribestar. Oh, I got to put up another Subscribestar. I recorded one last Wednesday. I haven't put it up. I'm also on Substack. Put it up on Substack. And even Locals. I shake my head because I'm not a fan of it. He wrote, or she wrote, maybe, 16 of us enjoyed your unique content January 19th. The 8 of us who remain clearly possess codependent egos and eagerly await your next amble and ramble. Laughing face emoji sideways. Thank you, man, or woman, supporter, over on Subscribestar and Substack and Locals. Nobody's on Locals. Don't go there. I hate it. But I'm on there. I shall try to be faithful, but maybe it's partly why I don't do it so much. But I did record a video just for the supporters, and I shall put it up even though it's a week old. Jordanos with a super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. I got it. Samson likes Asian persuasion. Where'd you get that? What are you talking about? Laughing face emoji with tears. But they're all liberal. So what you finna do? Finna is any relation to finna, which is short for a fitting to? I'm fitting to do this. Do Speedy like white girls? Colombia Corazon. Okay, Delilah. You don't know me, and you don't know Speedy Gonzalez. Nicolas. Do you want to defend yourself or stay out of it? Oh, you're still out of it. Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that I like Asians? I mean, I like everybody. I like girls. Sometimes I think about girls. Oh, and she put musical note emojis. I don't know if there's called emojis. But thank you, Jordanos. I appreciate it. I feel that I should stick with the whites, gals. Let God solve that, settle that. Let whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Cha. Jordanos says gives a salute and a medal star, a medallion star, to William. The bad thing is that ignorant people giving birth to ignorant generation. Those with common sense are not having kids. SMH, shaking her head. Well, thank you, Jordanos. Evil is Real bought a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report, and it's spelled COFFEE. God never gave commandments to women. There is no counterpart to do not covet your neighbor's wife and do not lay with a man as you would a woman. I thought that it did say women. Maybe not. Maybe it didn't. I thought that it did say somewhere. But anyway, nothing happened when Eve ate the fruit, only when Adam ate it. God commanded only Adam not to eat the fruit. Eve had not even been created yet. According to Evil is Real. Women are to obey husbands. God commands only men. Men command women. Women need to quit thinking that God rules them. God does not even talk to Eve except to tell her of her punishment. God talked to Adam all the time, says Evil is Real with a coffee. And you can take that coffee with a grain of salt. But irregardless, it's an interesting point, which is not a word, but I use it to be cute because I haven't heard myself use it, so I haven't cringed hard enough to be traumatized enough not to say it. WWB, which I believe is short for white well-being, answers my question at the beginning of the show after the intro about my skin versus my shirt. You aren't less white. You are more red because you are Celtic or Celtic. Well, thank you, man. Does that mean Scottish and or Danish and Irish? Maybe a little bit of Irish. Thank you, WWB, white well-being. Is that true? Am I Celtic? I do have red hair. I am not so Irish, I don't believe, as I am Scottish and Danish and English and American. Or am I Americant? Thank you, WWB. White well-being, I believe, is what it's short for. We're on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@the-Hake-Report/live. Going on to, he's commenting on this Justin Pearson guy who pre-Afro, pre-goofy Afro, but with the goofy smile, post-goofy, don't say that, Canadian kids. It's too close to a bad word for the Canadians. Braces, Justin Pearson, who talked like a phony politician. He presents himself rather well. However, main thing is if he supports WWB, white well-being, and is against anti-whiteism. And I can assure you that this Justin Pearson sleaze bag, don't say that, kids, is not for whites, nor even for blacks. He's a poser. He's pretending like he supports blacks, but he does not love anybody. He is evil. He is possessed by evil, Darth. Mexican Indian, he says. I love that. If I wasn't low on funds, I'd send you another super chat just for that. Hey, thank you, WWB. I'll read it anyway, even without the super chat. I appreciate your support. Save your money. Take care of yourself first. As the great President Trump, our greatest president, said, if you are experiencing tough times right now, do not send me anything. If you are doing well, thanks to me, send me something. Send me support. He said that. He he truthed that over on Truth Social. I remember seeing it somewhere. Something to that effect. So right on, guys. Thanks for the support. Being Enlightened Till I Rise says over on rumble.com/The Hake Report. You're American, Hake. Fire hair or not. Thank you, Being Enlightened Till I Rise. Well, guys, before I get back to calls, I will get to my callers. Hang tight, callers. It's already time for music, though. I love this track, and I promised I made a New Year's resolution to play more Petra. Petra means rock. It's Christian music, guys. This is from 1990, the album Beyond Belief. And see, people say, oh, I believe, and then that's enough. Well, you have to go beyond just that, because faith without works is dead. And this track is entitled Love by Petra, headed by John Schlitt. I like his voice. Some people prefer the original Petra singer, but I like John Schlitt. Enjoy, or press mute, or cover your ears, or grin and bear it, you musical Philistines, and I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight.
Love is patient, love is kind, no eyes of envy, true love is blind. Love is humble, it knows no pride, no selfish motive, hidden inside. Love is gentle, makes no demands. Despite all wrong, true love still stands. Love is holy, love is pure. It lasts forever, it will endure. Love knows when to let go. Love knows when to say no. Love grows in the light of the sun, and love shows the world that the Son of Love has come. Love is loyal, believes the best, it loves the truth, love stands the test. Love is God, said in His Son. Love forgives all we have done. Love knows when to let go. Love knows when to say no. Love grows in the light of the sun, and love shows the world that the Son of Love has come. In this world where hatred seems to grow, true love goes against the flow and becomes so hard to show. In this world where push turns into shove, we have strength to rise above through the power of His love. Lord, we need to know the power of Your love. Love knows when to let go. Love knows when to say no.
So good.
Love grows in the light of the sun, and love shows the world that the
Never a road trip with Hake. So good. So, says Flat Sabbath. We are the world. Is this Michael Sweet singing? No, that's John Schlitt and a gospel chorus or something, a choir. Oh, Lord, churchy choir. I don't like those. Hake, this song sounds amazing when muted, says Raymond 11. Julieta Venegas, Hake. Julieta Venegas. Because V's sound like B's when you're speaking Spanish, and the B's sound like V's. Ve grande o be chica. Right? Something like that, I think. Julieta Venegas was blocked in Russia, so I was going to play her whole album. I liked C by Julieta Venegas. But, no, that's... And same thing with La Oreja de Van Gogh. De Van Gogh. Go. That was... banned in Russia. And I want my Russian listeners to hear Hake, the full thing on YouTube. Right on. Thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful music. I like it. Schlitt is how it's spelled. John Schlitt. Not to be confused with Adam Schiff, who is not Christian, by the way. Not at all. Not even a normal white. Another super chat from Evil is Real on rumble.com/The Hake Report. Quote, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, parentheses, not God, and he, not God, shall rule over thee, is what God said to Eve in his curse to her. His repercussions. And thus God never gave another commandment to women because they were to obey their husband's commandments. Says Evil is still real over on Rumble. DJ On Paw says BOC is great. Educate yourself, beaners. La. Hey, nice. Sweet. MFs, which is Monte Flores. No, I disavow. I disavow gangs. I'm not sure what BOC is, DJ Jean-Paul. Making me nervous. BOCs is great. BOC is great. I'm blanking on it. It's may have something to do with something I mentioned. Well, thank you guys. Let me double check over on Buy Me a Coffee and Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/The Hake Report. Okay. We're all clear. Let me get to my favorite caller from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. Maze, on the line. How you doing, Maze?
Hello, James. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm just fine.
Right
I
on.
like to compare stuff to when I see people doing stuff and somebody doing the same thing that other people do.
Speak up loud and clear.
I'm not speaking loud enough for you?
If somehow
I like to compare. I
that's
like to
better.
compare things.
Thank you.
You have to compare things to know what somebody else is doing, right?
Oh, I don't know if you have to compare. Comparison.
Let me give you an example.
Comparison,
like
as Nick wisely stated on the Jesse Lee Peterson show today, after Tony from California's call, when you compare white crime to black crime is out of control. White crime is out of control, but way less so. But when you compare them, it tempts the two sides to look at each other and point at each other and not look at themselves. So comparison is not necessarily useful. Hold on. Comparison is not necessarily useful. We have to have a standard of... Hold on. We have to have a standard of perfection of what's right. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to give you a comparison of what I'm saying.
Okay.
You love to have that rebel flag on your laptop, right?
Yes, this beautiful rebel flag, the
Your
Southern
reason.
flag. Do you appreciate isn't it sort of beautiful to you? Do you like it?
I tell you have the wrong flag.
Do you like it?
Because you don't know no better. But I'm going to get to my point.
Do you like
and
it,
then
though?
You
You
look
didn't
at the
answer
guy
my
with
question.
the afro, not the natural hair. That's the difference between the two. So he can wear his afro because he wants to. That's a symbol of something he likes.
Justin Pearson, the
That flag is something
goofy
you like.
Afro
That's why
guy.
you have it on your right?
What's that?
That flag is on your laptop because you want it on there, right?
Yes.
Something out of history that you have.
And it's beautiful.
Well, to you. And so that young man that has the afro.
Objectively, the rebel flag is awesome. Everybody knows that it's cool. That's
It
why
is
it's
cool,
banned
and that's
everywhere. Because the conservatives can't have cool stuff. The white people are not allowed to have cool stuff.
But when it comes to
And there are other symbols that are cool looking that are big no-nos. Big no-no symbols. Even though they're so cool looking. It's a shame. Yeah, go ahead.
That's my point.
All
So when it comes to mass shootings, when a black man do a mass shooting, they're doing it too. But where did they get that from? Did they do it because they see somebody else doing it? Or they just came off the top of their head that they should do it? Or are they taking it from the CWP?
You know, there is such a thing as copycat crimes. They get it from one another. They do get it from one another. They may get it from white people. Is that what you're trying to say? They get it from white people? White people started this mass shooting thing? Is that what you're trying to say? And maybe also Satan talks to them directly. Satan is Does Satan invent things? I don't know.
And so when we come to the abortion thing, now if it was a black woman with the abortion thing, that's not our problem. We don't see them out in the street screaming and hollering because of all of this stuff that's being taken away from them because they CWP me and want them to have babies and sit at home and be like it used to be and control them like they are a robot or something.
No, like they're women. You're supposed to control women like they're women, not like they're robots.
You're supposed to control
That's your imagination because
you
you're not very Christian, Maze.
I told you
We control women like they're, well, we're supposed to anyway. We're supposed to.
For a Christian like y'all do.
Husbands are supposed to rule over their. Hold on, Maze. Husbands are supposed to rule over their wives like they're women, not like they're robots or something. You're trying to. Why are you dehumanizing women?
Really, I'm not dehumanizing.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
You would treat a dog better than you do a human. That's your problem. Y'all don't know the difference between.
You don't know me.
Excuse me?
You don't know me.
I'm not specifically speaking of you. I'm talking about CWPs. And when you see things happening because mass murderers and all this, and who keeping the books, and some of them they don't even keep record of it.
I know, that's
and then
true.
when you go look at the statistics, they like 2017 away. It's 2023. We need to know the statistics for last year.
We don't know. We need to know. We don't know.
Those are statistics that y'all give out and look at. That's where you get them from.
We don't need to know the statistics.
I know you don't need to know them on yourself because you don't know. We don't know what y'all doing. It's already looking at what everybody else doing. But what are you all doing as PWC?
Caucasian white people, you mean?
Yes. What are y'all doing?
People with
it's just like that
color?
two young men that they threw that.
You said PWCs instead of CWPs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch yourself, Maze? Maze, did you hear yourself say PWCs instead of CWPs?
I said CWPs.
Oh, no, you said
PWCs.
Roll it back. No. Anyway, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
Nobody should look at what you all do, but y'all look at what everybody else do.
Right. You make that point almost every time you call.
Excuse me?
You make that point almost every time you call, and
So
it's a fair point.
When you see other people doing what you all have done, and you see other people doing it, then you want to put it on that community and say they're overlooking it.
So you're pretending that black people. Hold on, Mace. Are you really pretending that black people got violent crime from whites people?
Really?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Let's look back in history.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Bible. Let's look over what's going on.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't see no black people trying to go to war to take over somebody else's land.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's because they didn't have cameras in Africa. They don't have. They didn't invent the. They didn't write it down in Africa. Just because it's not written down.
You don't have to worry about it, black or white.
Just because they didn't take pictures of it and video of it and didn't write it down doesn't mean it didn't happen, Maze. You're ridiculous. You're pretending like black people were only ever corrupted by white people. That's silly. Is that true?
Did I say? Well, they seem like they're doing what they did.
Huh? You confused me.
They're doing the things that y'all do. Killing, stealing, and destroying. See, we ain't planting nothing in nobody's neighborhood.
So white people are the devil because the devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. Is that what you're thinking? White people are the devil?
Excuse me?
Are you thinking white people are the devil because you said we steal, kill, and destroy?
You say as a Christian, heathens. The ways of the heathens.
Answer my question. You're talking in coded language.
I don't know what a devil is.
You're using... I can't hear your dog whistles because I'm not a dog. Maze.
I'm not one either. So when you get to people
I'm not calling you a dog.
And the black people want to talk about Afro, natural hair, it's just like your hair is red, but if you dyed, it'd be black.
Uh-huh.
And you don't put no Afro, if you don't put a perm in it, it's going to be nappy, just like anybody else's hair. It's like, you see, you don't think people know, y'all have perms, just like black people have perms. But most black people have natural hair.
M-A-Z-E.
You don't put perms and stuff in it.
No
so if you
I.
don't put perm, you can have braids, afro, or whatever you want to have.
No I in Maze,
His hair didn't have nothing to do with him being articulate or what he had to say about those heathens standing up in that Capitol doing the dirty deeds they always did.
What are you talking about?
Have you seen it before?
What are you talking about? Who?
Those politicians,
Which
what
Capitol?
they did, because they were not smart enough, and they don't want them in there because they have ideas and they
You're
don't
saying
have
it was a dirty deed to kick out those dirty people from
Yes,
the...
it sure was.
Oh, Lord.
But they did not. They didn't elect them. Now
Are
they
you
got to put
saying
them
that
back.
Are you saying that you agree with disruption and disorder and the violation of the Second Amendment?
They were not in there with guns.
Are you
They were not in there, tearing
saying
up the
you
place.
agree with disorder and disruption and violation
That
of the
was not
Second?
disorder.
Hold on, Mace. And violation of the Second Amendment. Do you support those three things?
There was no violation of no Second Amendment. Where was it?
They wanted to They were advocating for violating the Second Amendment, and there was disorder and it was disruption.
In your sight.
It
In the
was
way you believe.
reality.
I want you to tell me, as a CWP, what wrong do y'all do that you think that needs to get cleaned up? To a black woman, I want you to explain it to me.
We have fear, and
What are y'all doing?
fear is no good. We have a lot of white people have fear, and fear is no good. It's evil.
Well, why you got fear?
Because we
Where you
listen
get
to
that from?
Satan.
Oh, Satan. Oh,
Yeah.
Satan just
And also,
Satan
we
is
see
within
these
you.
black people are going crazy. That's scary.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. If you're in the midst of it, it's physically.
So I just wanted to know what you
terrifying.
think that what your people are doing. What do you think they need to do to make a change?
Seek the Lord.
Oh, really?
And tell the
Those
truth.
are thinking they seek the Lord ain't nothing but heathens.
Pray.
And nothing God about them.
Maybe I
God
take
about
that
them
back.
anyway.
Don't seek the Lord. Just be quiet and pray. Commit.
Okay.
Commit to what's right.
So
And,
when it comes to
speak up.
abortion and all those different things, just like it was welfare, New Greenwich told you who the biggest amount of people that was on welfare.
Oh Lord! You don't even recognize that blacks are disproportionately on welfare, disproportionately killing their babies. But you want to say, oh, the white people, and it's not even normal white people who are into that stuff. It's not normal.
Are you
They're
in the
not Christians.
hospital and seeing all this going on, or you just going up what somebody wrote on a piece of paper and gave?
I'm looking at reality. Look at you. You
No, it's not
support
reality.
baby killing.
Who?
You support baby killing
Why would I support baby killing?
because you're like, it's not my business. So by
Just because I don't have the
extension,
same belief that you
support
have.
it.
You support baby killing.
No, I
and you
don't.
support-
How do I support baby killing?
When they get grown killings and everything else.
No, I
you
support
support the
killing
death penalty?
killing the guilty, but not the innocent.
Oh, yeah. A whole lot of innocents died because of y'all saying them guilty.
I doubt that. Maybe
what
it
you're doing
happens
to
a little
dogs
bit.
is coming
Maybe
to
it
the light.
happens a little bit. Y'all, who's y'all? You talking about white
Get
people?
out of your fear. And what's
I
done
gotta
in the
go,
dog
Maze.
to the light, and the light is shining on you.
It's
So
enough
don't put
nonsense.
it on everybody else.
This has been 10 minutes of nonsense from you today, Maze.
Well, if you said nonsense, for the slow and uninformed,
Mostly
of course.
it is nonsense.
For those that understand, good for them. So I would like for you to sit and tell me what you all are doing.
Why do we need to tell you?
Why
Why do we need to tell you what we're doing?
Because I'm curious. I would like to know.
Well, aren't you a gossipy
We
woman?
didn't make the rules. Y'all made the rules.
I
You
gotta
can't even
go.
follow.
Adios,
Okay.
Maze.
Y'all made the rules, and you can't follow the rules yourself.
God made the rules. Adios. Bye. It sounded like she was about to hang up, and I didn't want to hear the click, so I hung up. But normally she says, you have a good day. She may have said that. So, a brief clarification on the super chat from DJ Onpaw. BOC is great, he says. Educate yourself, beaners. La la la, MFs. Don't say that, kids. America first. Maybe MFs means America firsts. BOC, Blue Oyster Cult. clarifies, spoiler alert, my chief moderator. Don't be jealous, you fellow mods. And you retired mods. We salute you. But irregardless, which is not a word, even though the fake news dictionary says it is, spoiler alert, is the best in the West. But man, you don't have to always be here, but I appreciate you helping out, man. By the way, yeah, Blue Oyster Cult. We played a little bit of it on another show. And I heard it a little bit on TKR Official, the Crypto Report, on whose Asmodor's show, on whose show I shall appear someday soon. I keep on teasing it. One day, okay? Just got to get on up 100% health-wise, ready to go. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, Joel Friday TV will be here in about 45 minutes, plus or minus. Joel Friday TV, he's on JLP's network from 11 to 12 Pacific time. That's 2 to 3 Eastern, I do believe, on Joel Friday TV YouTube channel. It's excellent. That guy looks at himself. And of all people, he says he has food problems with food. What? He must exercise. Because when you exercise, I remember when I used to run a lot after high school. I mean, right after school, in high school and college a little bit. And if I ate the wrong thing, boy, I would feel it. But nowadays, if you're leading a, what is that called, where you're not doing anything, you're sitting around like a bump on a log, you can eat stuff, you can eat app, and feel like you're getting away with it, but you're not getting away with it. That's why it's good to exercise and do stuff, because then you see and feel the effects of the bad food on the body. It makes a difference. It surely does. Disavow something, Hake. I'm not your monkey that I can perform for you like a circus animal, man. Robot Women says evil is still real. Yeah, I know, silly. Let me get to Artie Art out of Ohio before I get back to stories and clips and things. Art in Ohio, thanks for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Hey, man, what was that dude with the afro, man? It's a prime example of why young people's...
Prime example of what?
It's a prime example that young black men or whatnot in Nashville with the afro or whatnot, why they shouldn't be in politics. Because first thing first is more than likely he came from a single black mother or whatnot with no logic, and they get out here talking of liberal nonsense that don't make no dang on sense. And like me, you have to be of a certain age to where you get that blindness off your eyes. And sometimes you be like Tony from California and Earl from wherever he was from, to where you 60-something years old and you don't never come out to the darkness or whatnot. So, I mean, sometimes like people like liberal blacks like that, they don't never wake up and understand how stupid they sound or whatnot. Second thing is, he said we need to get the radical left together with the radical right. Well, hold up. No, we don't need to get no radical left nothing. And the right ain't radical. If you radical anyway, you're not right. You're not on the right side. You're not a conservative. You're not no Republican, because ain't no Republican radical. We think we're logic. You know, now if we gotta hurt somebody or whatnot, that ain't gonna be nothing radical. It's gonna be because we defending ourselves. You know what I mean? So true. Why would Father God come together with Satan? It don't work like that or whatnot. So dude just don't know what he's talking about or whatnot. Second thing is, with these females, like what made me think of this is I seen a commissioner from Texas. She's a border commissioner or something like that. I don't know if it's a border commissioner, something, to where she was saying that there's a little island down there that they trying to stop the Mexicans and people coming across the border from setting up clothes. They got clothes, whole bunch of stuff to where it's like a jumping point to where before they come to Texas or whatnot. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh, the conservative females on the right side of it, they're too pretty. And I'm just looking at, I'm like, honey, you so pretty. That's why people like Hillary Clinton and these loony left liberals, fatback lesbians don't respect you, honey. I mean, you might have a point, but they know if they get in the fight with you, they going to beat you up, you conservative pretty girl like Kayleigh McEnany. And that's my lady. I like Katie McEnany, Fox News. Y'all can't speak for no females because y'all are too pretty. And y'all not going to fight with the radical left, the big lesbians, and who is somebody that's AOC probably the prettiest thing on the left hand side of Maxine Waters. See, Maxine Waters would beat a Kayleigh McEnany up at her age. You see what I'm saying? Even though she's younger than Maxine Waters, the liberals, you can't fight with no liberal. And they don't take y'all serious because they just like the pro-life person down there that they ran the two pro-lifers off and whatnot. Y'all too pretty for them radical left to respect y'all, man. And y'all shouldn't even be speaking anyways, truth be told, on both ends, man. That's a prime example of when the founding fathers of America wrote the Constitution. How many women did you see around there in any of them pictures?
You know, we shouldn't be having these women in politics. I agree with you. It's ridiculous. I want to correct you. I want to correct and one thing you speculated about Justin Pearson, this goofy Afro guy. Big Bump says, nah, Art, Afro man. No relation to that goofy singer guy. Went the other route. His father was a preacher, mother a teacher. Same bird, different wing. So he did have his father around, but it was a goofy preacher guy, apparently. He was a phony, nicey nice boy. And he was like this well-spoken, middle-class, phony, fake politician guy. Anyway.
So that's even worse then, buddy.
Yeah, no excuse.
Mr. Hake, my brother.
Yeah, even less of an excuse. Yeah.
So that says that your father's a scammer. Because when I hear that young man talking or young boy talking, he sounds like a scammer or whatnot.
Yeah.
A straight scammer. So that means you learn how to scam from your dad, not your mom or whatnot. And it sounds like your mom was running the household or whatnot. But what killed me about him is he got on there and was sounding like one of them old preachers. I know. Man, dude, you are so out of tune. Them type of preachers, man, y'all fell off like in 2016 when Artie R said when y'all didn't stand up for the y'all congregation about the you can't get into a whole group of people because what was they saying? The COVID people, you couldn't get around a whole bunch because you would be spreading the COVID. When the preachers and the pastors didn't stand up for the American people that was going to them churches back then, we been cut y'all off. Only people that's going to them churches, letting them preachers scam them out is the liberal left, man. People been stopped listening to them, man. So that little phony little preacher voice is out the window. That's like 1946, man. Ain't nobody doing that no more. That's how you know a scammer, man. That's how you know who the scammer is, man. They using them fake little
right. I've played 3 days I've played his clips 3 different days. Today, yesterday, and I think last week, right? Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, Joel Friday on Tuesday. And it was phony every time. And the first time I played it, I think it was Friday, maybe. And it was this phony journalist guy from, I'm blanking on his name, Aaron Rupar, said, Justin Pearson is a great orator. He called him a great orator. Give me a break.
Come on, man. What's
phony, recognized phony. Can you break that?
What's that word mean? I'm a conservative, man.
Orator means somebody who's good at orating. Orating means speaking with your mouth. A public speaker, one who is eloquent or skilled. This guy, I mean, he's skilled, but it's so phony and like apparently put on. You know, it's anyway. And somewhat entertaining. I'm not the greatest speaker with but man, you gotta come down to earth when you talking to me, using all them big college liberal words or whatnot, man. You gotta talk to me like a baby. I just like common sense, man. You don't gotta use no big words or whatnot that you learn from your 4, 5, 6 years at college, liberal college, to talk to me, man. And
That's how they sure know that you a liberal or whatnot. And when you can't even, you done been in these colleges for so long, you don't even know how to talk to your base to where you just using simple little small words, man.
Yeah.
I get nervous when I get to hearing people talking all them big words, and it let me know that they liberals, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't mess with you, man. I'd rather have somebody like you or just using basic little words to where I can understand.
Yeah.
And you ain't trying to. What's these words that they be using? I'm trying to think. Oh man. Diversity and equity. And
right.
What do you mean? Just tell me what you mean, man.
Right.
You want to basically take.
They mean anti-white, anti-white,
Yeah,
anti-Christian, not normal people. They want fruits and evil people to. Anyway, go ahead.
So what's up with Jill Biden or whatnot? She apologized to them two girls or whatnot, or to that black girl. But you didn't tell your husband to get up there and apologize for that lady that he said that he basically didn't care about her kid dying or whatnot from a fentanyl overdose. He was making jokes about that. So that just and that was a white lady. So we definitely don't like you. You don't even like your own people. You don't even like your own white people. You ain't get up there and apologize for saying that stupid stuff about that white lady's kid or whatnot. When we know she's a liberal just like you or whatnot. So you phony to your own base.
Yeah. It is a good idea. You know, people bring up how you say and you talk about and whatnot.
Yeah.
Pay attention to yourself as you speak. And that way you don't use so much fillers and you become more clear speaking and it's less distracting to people. People can get your point better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you see the girl from LSU? They had her.
No, I haven't kept up with that story at all.
Man,
what's happened? Is that the basketball girls that were bagging on each other or something like that?
Yeah, the LSU and the Iowa girl and the LSU girl, and I'm just like, she did a commercial with Church's Chicken or Popeye's Chicken. And I'm like, hold up, ain't y'all liberals the ones that be talking about, chicken is racist? You associating. Yes, you'll be the first ones, the liberal left be the first ones saying, that you talking about chicken, and that's racist. But then you get the liberal blacks to go do a commercial with the chicken place and everybody's cool with it, which I don't got no problem. I'm not. I know everybody likes chicken, but I know how y'all are, the left Looney Tunes. Everything you talk about watermelon and chicken, it's racist, but she goes do a commercial. But that's all I wanted to say, man.
I appreciate it, Art. Great point. It's ridiculous. They have the people falling all over themselves, apologizing when they served up fried chicken and what's that thing?
Hey.
Watermelon on Black History Month. And
but check. Go ahead. I'm listening.
And then they had to apologize because it was insensitive, cultural stereotyping.
Yeah.
And then they like it themselves. Don't blame us for noticing.
You said that because you said it was a school or something where they for lunch at the school they was serving up chicken and then the school got sued.
Yeah.
Because they were Yeah, point exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say, too. And you hit it right on the nose, man. Yes, sir. But go ahead. I'll catch you later, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Art. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. I hung up on him briefly because I didn't want to hear the click. I hung up on him prematurely. My timing is off today. A little super chat from rumble.com/The Hake Report. Black people who identify with their rhythmic background are easily controlled by the old school preacher speech pattern. Oh, no, that was being enlightened till I rise. I don't know if I said who that was from. Evil is real, or I thought it was evil is still real, but no. Yeah, that's true. Being enlightened till I rise. Very true. And there was I am remiss in not reading all of the super chats from WWB, White Wellbeing, over on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@ The Hake Report a day ago. He gave a super chat and stated that Daniel from Florida, fella, is a good mixture of based and Promethean. His BPE levels are kind of high. BPE. Do you know what BPE may stand for? Hopefully it's something clean. Yeah, Daniel from Florida, good guy. He slips and cusses a few times, kind of like some other American native. American native slips and cusses a lot, too. I had to hang up on American native. But, yeah, I like him. I appreciate him. I appreciate Daniel from Florida's calls. And American native, Nate from California. Though he seemed to be a little off past a time or two of calling. But that's okay. We cut him some slack. We'll give him another chance. Give him a chance, coach. Before I get back to calls, hang tight, callers. I will get to you. I think. Right-wingers, in my opinion, too hard on Tucker Carlson. Clip 12. This is from I am yes, you are no. This was circulating on Twitter about a week ago, okay? I am yes, you are no. Great account on Twitter. Interesting content. This is 1 minute and 3 seconds from Tucker Carlson about white people standing up for white people in America. And he says it's very disappointing. I presume that I am yes, you are no on Twitter is a he. I don't know for sure. I saw other tweets because I searched, Tucker Carlson, white people. And this was from a week ago. Old news from Hake. So I suppose I'll play this clip and then I'll read some of the chat comments in response. Listen to this.
I will say this, if I can just make one prediction. So the United States is becoming non-white. Everyone's excited about it. Or whether you're not excited about it, it doesn't matter. Whites are going to be in the minority. So what that means soon. So what that means is you're going to get at some point, probably in my lifetime, people standing up and saying, I represent white people. I'm the candidate of the white voter.
Right.
And I just want to say on the record that I'm going to tell that person to f*** off. Because nobody speaks. I'm an adult man. And nobody speaks for me because he shares the same skin color as me. Like, I just reject that entire idea. If I agree with you, I'll let you speak for me. And if I don't, I won't. But this idea that someone of a certain skin color, any skin color, or any ethnic background speaks automatically on behalf of all people who share that skin color, ethnic background, is a Nazi idea, and I'm totally opposed to it. And I will be opposed to it when it happens to me. When and this will happen. Someone's going to, oh, white people. And I'm going to be like, I don't even know you, dude. I don't even know you. I refuse to allow you to purport to speak for me because we look the same. Period.
So apparently that was on, I gather, Starkian Hypothesis tweeted, I watched Tucker's interview with Adam Carolla. Not to be confused with Corolla, like Toyota Corolla. Carolla. Is that an Italian guy? The other night, this was probably a week ago plus, and most of it was standard normie con. Dems are real racist, and woke is bad because it will make white people pursue identity politics someday. So says Starkian Hypothesis. Well, I'm not familiar with this person tweeting that, but he quote tweeted a guy named Jason Kessler, who's the guy who organized the Unite the Right rally. He appeared on the JLP show before that thing. Jason Kessler, he's purportedly a pro-white guy. I haven't really kept up with that guy, but he tweeted this thing. Tucker Carlson describes whites becoming a minority as quote unquote exciting. I don't think that Tucker said that it was exciting, in fairness. And pledges to attack anyone who advocates for white people since those are Nazi ideas. This silver spoon jerk, sorry kids, don't say that, is not one of the good guys. Controlled opposition! All caps. Silver spoon is right, I think. This guy is a rich young man. He used to wear a bow tie like those goofy, silly college preppy guys. But he comes from that world, but he's also a pretty independent-minded guy, I think. Tucker Carlson, in my opinion. And he was saying people are excited about that. Many people find it exciting that whites are becoming a minority. I don't think that he was avowing that. He didn't say he disavows. But Andrew Anglin, World War Wang, great Twitter account. He's back on Twitter. I'm not sure if I should disavow him. He has a website on the internet. Shout out to the internet. Andrew Anglin, interesting guy. But he tweeted, Tucker Carlson on white people. Bleep you, you're a Nazi. And it was interesting that he used that term Nazi ideas. Those are Nazi ideas. That a person of a race speaks for all people of that race. And he's kind of oversimplifying it. I don't think anybody says that, really. Oh, just because I'm black, I speak for all black people. So is he calling most blacks, fake leaders, Nazis? Nazis? Is that what he's calling them? Is he calling Al Sharpton and the Black Lives Matter sleazebags? Can I say that word? Nazis? It's interesting that he said Nazi. Maybe he knows more about history than I would assume. Because I don't know much about history. I am yes, you or no, like I mentioned. He found that quote very disappointing. But what I got from Tucker saying that was that what JLP says, don't have leaders. You hear people saying, oh, Nick Fuentes, he is our leader. Nick Fuentes is a young man, talented, a leader of sorts, educated, in that probably self-educated, smart, presents himself well, but he's not your leader. Christ is king. Have no leaders. And so I agreed with Tucker on that, in terms of if I agree with you, you can speak for me, he said. Andrew Anglin explains, Tucker Carlson's show is well written because he has good writers. When you see him in interviews, he can barely even function and starts doing long asides about how white people are evil, even if they don't accept being replaced by foreigners in their own home. I didn't know that I don't know if that's true because I haven't watched any of these interviews. So I don't know if that's an unfair or fair characterization by Andrew Anglin. World War Wang. Ozark Night Owl says, Tucker Carlson said openly he'll throw white people under the bus anytime they need to ethnically speak up as a group, even when that's the basis of policy against us. Never mind Candace Owens doing it for her people with Blexit. GOP wonders why no other ethnic groups vote for them. Look what happens. Tucker Carlson in this video says, F off. Oh, blank off, sorry kids, to anyone that would stand to lead white people in this country. How can you be so flippant towards white replacement, especially when other racial groups are already organized for their own gains? But those guys are not organized for their own gains. They're organized for the destruction of themselves. Yeah, they gain a little bit of worldly sway, but they don't do well for themselves. And him saying, bleep off, you don't speak for me, isn't him saying being flippant. That's not him being flippant towards white replacement. I think you guys are being jump into conclusions, into things that he did not actually say. Stick with what he actually said. I say, don't turn on the guy. Friend enjoyer says Tucker Carlson said on a podcast that white people becoming a minority is exciting. He said that it's exciting for some. He didn't say it's exciting for him. And that there will be people who represent the white vote and that he will tell them to bleep off. Unless he agrees with them. Dude, I don't even know you, dude. He's not wearing his tie in this podcast. Adam Carolla. Also adding that they were holding on to Nazi ideas. Yeah, I don't know why he said that. Nazi ideas. Bring on just say that's black. You're thinking black. It's more black that you're thinking. And some of the phony Latinos and Asians are thinking that way too. You're thinking black. You're not thinking Nazi. I don't even understand what that means. So I disagree with Tucker saying that. I mean, I just don't know the historical reality of what happened. Well, history is different from the reality of what actually happened, right? Because written down stuff is different. Fake news. A lot of fake news becomes history. Tucker talks about white replacement. No? Asks Nick. Yeah, he does. He's written it on his show or spoken it on his show. And as Andrew Anglin said, I'm sure like there were writers, people writing it for him. But I don't think that he would say it if he didn't agree with it. Remember, there was a great based writer who was outed, doxxed by the mainstream media, and he had to get fired or quit or resign or something. Talented young man. it came out he hated women supposedly and made fun of blacks or something. Maybe even made fun of Jewish people, which is, I disavow that. But anyway, he used to cover white replacement on his shows, is Bill Pasquale. What do you mean we used to? I don't even think used to is quite it. Yeah, spoiler alert makes a great point. I've never seen a so-called white supremacist or even neo-Nazi, which I don't even see those, but never seen them say, I speak for all white people. Exactly. It's kind of he is using sort of a straw man. That is true. So you guys are straw manning the man who's straw manning who knows what. He's talking about something that's going to happen in the future, and it hasn't even happened. So you guys are overreacting, in my opinion, and maybe he's overreacting too. My main point is, don't judge these people too quickly over something that they say and too harshly. So you're shooting yourself in the foot to spite your face, which is the wrong way to say it. Cutting off your nose to spite your face. Anyway, am I wrong? Am I wrong? You are too hard on Tucker? You're saying stuff that he's not saying? Stay out of your imagination. Don't go into jumping to conclusions about what he's saying. That's what I'm pointing out. Super chat from Evil is Still Real on Rumble rant. Hake, skipping my super chats again. Hake is as scared of me as he is of Ben. That's not true, man. I haven't skipped any of your super chats. You skipped me. Because I haven't skipped any of your super chats, man, to my knowledge. Let me just double check. Because I have spent quite a bit of time on all of your super chats. Evil is Still Real. I think those are false accusations. You're acting like a woman. Like a Me Too woman, falsely accusing me. Unless I'm wrong, I don't think I skipped anything. Nice. Tell me if I'm wrong. Lordy. Before I get to calls, let's hear a real preacher, man. Let's hear some real preaching. Bass, Alex Jones, my competitor. This is a clip 13 from Mike Cernovich, who has been on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show and the Fallen State and the Men's Conference. He tweeted out a nearly 4-minute clip. I'm going to play 2 minutes and 20 seconds of it. Originally from Infowars_TV, which I disavow, right? They're fake news conspiracy theorists. But it's an interest. The substance of what he's saying is interesting. Epic country boy rant from April 6th, 2023 AD. Alex Jones, my competitor, breaks down the importance of self-sufficient Americans to form a peaceful revolution, that's a communist buzzword, against the New World Order. And Cernovich tweets, no one else like him. And so I'm sharing a couple of minutes just because how can you deny this? This is way better and perhaps almost as entertaining as Justin Pearson, the goofy Afro guy, thanking Mother God and his ancestors and pretending like he's a Christian. How can you deny this? It's nice and it's true. Here he is.
We say grace. We say amen. And if you ain't into that, we don't give a because we're not a bunch of hypocrites. But when it comes to serving evil, we don't do it.
Nice.
And we stand against it. Because a country boy can't survive. The New World Order is going to take everything you got. They're going to take your children's soul.
Yep.
Are you going to keep bowing down to these people? You're going to let this scum rule over you? It's time to break their will. It's time to say, I don't care what the you do to me. And I don't know how this is going to end, But if you want to fight, you better believe you got one.
Nice.
And it is that fighting spirit of truth and justice to raise our children and be strong and be good and be honest. No matter what color you are, you got red blood, and the creator of the universe made you, and you got to decide, I'm not owned by the devil. I'm not owned by the New World Order. And I'm going to do everything I can to work against this system and to defeat it.
That's right.
And the first way you do that is breaking with Hollywood and the Democratic Party and the New World Order and every thing they push, because every thing they do is death. Everything they do is poison. Everything they do is designed to destroy you and destroy your family.
It's true.
It's not an ongoing decision. You make the decision, you commit to not submit, and to fight back with everything you've got. And that means not caring about the system and how old your car or your truck is or what your neighbors think about you or any of that crap. What matters is your freedom. What matters is your integrity. What matters is who you are and that you're not for sale. Ever.
Nice.
And that's why the enemy hates me so much. That's why they hate you so much, because they know we're real. They know we love God. They know we tell the truth. They know we bust our ass to be honorable. And they know we're out of their grasp.
Right on, man. How can you deny that? I had to share it. I know he's my competitor. No competition. But that's some nice preaching. Right on, AJ, Alex Jones. Not to be confused with AJ Gallardo, the man who wrote the original The Hake Report theme song. Lord. Let me just play this one clip real quick. One last quick time. I played this yesterday. Clip 18. This is from The Hake Report, Monday, April 10th, 2023 AD. From Asian Dawn 4, Asians are being disproportionately attacked in the area of Oakland, California. I mentioned Oakland earlier this hour. The Bay Area, homicides through the roof. Murder clearance rates dwindling. Asians disproportionately attacked by members of the so-called African-American, meaning black, community. It's not African-American, they're black. Shout out to the blacks. Countless video evidence, and the Asians. And statistics are overwhelming. If anything, Asians should be offended that this black guy is offended that they're avoiding him. But he's not offended at the Asians. He's offended at white supremacy. Here's this TikTok from, I'm blanking on his name, but he's a black, unapologetically black guy who goes into Chinatown with his daughter, and they part like the Red Sea. Listen to this.
So yeah, I'm walking in Chinatown in Oakland, and every single time I'm walking in Chinatown in Oakland, it is so painful to see all these Asian folks like literally parting like the Red Sea, just afraid of me. And I think, the last 2 years of media representation of young black people assaulting Asian folks is the cause. And a lot of people don't know that 93% of all hate crimes against Asian people are still committed by white folks. So when I'm walking down in Chinatown, they look at me like I'm about to beat them up or rob them. And, I'm not angry at Asian people for that, for being in fear. But I am very, very sad. And I don't know what to do about that. And I'm not going to stop eating Chinese food. I'm not going to stop going to the Chinese bakery and getting some little cool treats, for me and my daughter. But how do we fix this is my question. How do we fix this? How do we handle white supremacy so we can have some more Afro-Asian solidarity, you know what I'm saying? So let me know.
I'll let you know, buddy.
What do we do?
I'll let you know what you do. Lisa, I disavow, she says over there, our health expert resident over on Facebook. Perhaps he just stank, as the real Mr. Mad says. I can smell him through the screen. What you do, man, is you don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Keep doing you. And don't worry about it. Have some understanding. And don't be trying to end white supremacy so we can get some Afro-Asian solidarity. Do as JLP recommends, the silent prayer. What is this guy's profession? He's a TikToker. I don't know, Space Cadet. That rat's nest. Oh, yeah, his hair's a mess. He has these braids with a funny puka. Is it puka? Shell on it. I don't even know what that is. Is that a bad word? The solution is don't be bothered. It's so easy. Other people's problems are so easy, right? Because they're not really problems. Huh. Let's have some positive thing real fast. Let's have this positive story. Here's another black happy about a white man working. Young white man, 13 years old. This is a clip from clip 16. TikTok, another TikTok video. Lizzie Wool tweeted, it's obviously a good thing when teens are kept busy, when they're allowed to be industrious, when they're entrusted with responsibility. This ain't no triangle sweat shirt waist factory. I see no exploitation or endangerment here. And this is quote tweeted, a more perfect union. It sounds like an evil Twitter account. A viral TikTok shows a 13-year-old kid, boy, young man, working at a Chick-Fil-A. All the best people are at Chick-Fil-A and In-N-Out. As a customer asks, is that even allowed? Here it is.
You work here?
Yeah.
How old are you?
13.
Oh my God. Is that even allowed?
What?
Gosh.
Is that even allowed?
Yeah, it is.
13?
Yeah.
But do you know like your multiplication chart?
Oh, no, I know. So my dad owns the store.
Oh, your dad owns it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
I understand.
His dad owns the store. Shout out to the fathers, white sons, 13 years old working. I mean, it's not the manliest job, but it's pretty nice. Right on. That's good. I had to work a little bit. Work on the roof. Work in the addition. My dad went to the library and learned how to add on to the house. New rooms. Replace the shingles on the roof. A little bit. Nice. Right on. Yeah, Chick-fil-A is evil as a corporation. They pretend to be Christian, but they're a bunch of phonies. They support Black Lives Matter, scum of the earth. Have a black woman run the show in different parts of the stuff. So that's nice. Right on. Working, man. Yeah, washing the Dan Cathy or whatever that guy's name was, washing the feet of Lecrae, the phony black Christian rapper, phony Christian rapper. But silly liberals, Black Lives Matter supporting guy. But that's cool. It's good to work. Sounded like an upstanding young man. Encouraging. And that was another black guy with a weird hair. Is that allowed? Hey, it's better. We should bring back child labor. Anyway, I wanted to share that because it's kind of encouraging, uplifting. Not part of the New World Order. Shout out to my competitor. They would love it, child labor, says Nick. Yeah, they would love it. It's better for them than being on TikTok and doing these challenges and dying. It's just ridiculous. Howard's a first-time caller out of North Carolina. I only have a few minutes here. Couple minutes, really. Let me just try to get him in here. Howard in North Carolina, thanks for calling. You have like a minute. Go ahead.
I was listening to actually Jesse Peterson for the first time.
Nice.
And he got some. Are you pretty much the same as Jesse? You know, stand on beliefs and all that kind of stuff.
What's your question, man? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Jesse was mentioning that Jesus is not God; he's just the Son of God, and like in the flesh. And he does mention the Bible, that he used the Bible to quote a lot of stuff. And I was wondering, why does he use the Bible? He doesn't believe in the Bible, though.
Because he believes in God. You should only believe in God. You shouldn't believe in the Bible. Because when you believe in the Bible, you're believing in your fallen understanding of what the Bible says, and not in God.
No, maybe I should rephrase. No, not believe in the Bible, but the Bible tells us who God is, how God wants us to, act. Right?
Oh, yeah, it says, it gives some advice here and there. Yes, for sure. It doesn't say who God is. It doesn't tell us who God is, though.
In a way.
It doesn't say that Jesus is God.
Well, Jesus said, I'm Alpha and Omega. Who is Alpha and Omega?
The first and
Who can
last.
be Alpha?
The first and the last.
Yes, sir. Who can be the first and the last? Only God.
Firstborn over all creation. I don't know if you're assuming that means he's God, but that's your assumption.
No. Because the Father also said that he is Alpha and Omega, didn't he?
I don't know.
Okay, but Jesus said before Abraham was, I am.
Right.
Okay, so he existed before the world and everything.
That doesn't
right?
mean that he's God.
Okay, so
the firstborn over all creation. It doesn't mean that he's God, man. You're making assumptions. You're jumping to conclusions.
Got it.
Kind of like the people who look at Tucker Carlson saying stuff and make assumptions that Tucker Carlson is abandoning and smearing whites when he may not be as bad as you're thinking. Are you Asian?
I am. Wow,
nice.
that's pretty good. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Vietnamese, actually. And so
how old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I am 46 years old.
Okay, nice.
And are you Jehovah's Witness?
Say again?
Are you Jehovah's Witness?
No.
Mormon?
You know, I gotta go. Call me again, Howard. We're at the end of the show. We can talk more tomorrow or whenever you can call back.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, appreciate you, man.
Day.
You as well.
No problem.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye. Frederick in Los Angeles wanted to ask, who is really running the world order? Satan. Your father, your daddy. And other callers who wanted to get in there. JC wanted to talk, to give a shout out to Maze, and I couldn't get to him. The rest of the callers, I cannot get to you. Here is, how about let's return to love. Welcome to Agapeland by Bullfrogs and Butterflies. They've both been born again. Enjoy from 1978. And adios, America. Catch Joel Friday TV next.
Welcome to Agapeland. Welcome to Agapeland. Welcome to Agapeland, the wonderland of love. Welcome to Agapeland. Welcome to Agapeland. Welcome to Agapeland, the wonderland of love. We're singing and ringing, sounds of love are springing. All the world will sing our song. Join us now and come along. Welcome to Agapeland. Welcome to Agapeland. Welcome to Agapeland, the wonderland of love.
Hi. We're so glad that you've come to spend the day with us here in Agapeland. You know, we're going to be singing some songs, so why don't you follow the words and come along with us?